journey started out in 2014, and I initially started off as a children's face painter. Back then, when I started out, I was in university, and I was pursuing my degree in HR, human resources. So I had a lot of friends and family that mocked me for choosing to be a kid's face painter. We would go back to class and have assignments where a lot of my batchmates were interning at like Unilever, P&G, and the like. And I was always the odd one out because I chose to follow an unconventional career path such as becoming an artist. So I think it started off for me because I was really passionate about art. I enjoyed, colors, understanding design, the way things mix on canvas versus on the human body. And that passion further grew into me wanting to understand the science behind makeup. Now, I went to school for makeup as well, and I realized that there is so much of learning and so much of science that goes behind understanding shadows, highlights, how colors look on film or in nature versus how they look on a person's face. So I started experimenting and trying makeup transformations on my own face. So if you see on the slide, the pictures on the right is in fact me, and the picture on the left is of a famous person or a celebrity that I was trying to imitate. So this is the former One Direction band member, Zayn Malik, and that's me on the right. And you can see how just using makeup, you can actually transform yourself to look like another gender or from someone from a different race or a different nationality for that matter. And that's something that really amazes me about makeup and being an artist. The next one is of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, who is a politician in India. And this was very interesting for me because it involved a lot of old age makeup. And that's a lot of, science behind understanding where humans naturally tend to crease or have wrinkles or have aged or sagging skin. So I think this was a bit of a challenge, but it was definitely something that taught me a lot more. And if you guys follow the TV show Game of Thrones, you would know this character, Khal Drogo. That's me on the right, and this was exceptionally hard for me to recreate because I had to actually attach a fake beard onto my chin. But I think this was one of my most favorite transformations, really, because it involved so much of character and so much of interest because I was following the TV show at the time, so I was really inspired. And I think the fact with makeup transformations, I really enjoy how I envision or I picture it to look a certain way, but when I'm actually done, it looks like something completely different. Let me educate you a little bit on what makeup transformations really are. So you've got 3 types of makeup transformations. The first one is ideally beauty or glamour, which people are commonly aware of and they know of. So this one is basically, you'd see half face where she's completely transformed. These are usually practiced on brides or, at salons. And this is by a famous beauty blogger in the US. Her name is Nikki. And she started a really big campaign called The Power of Makeup, where she encouraged women to, post pictures of themselves barefaced as well and embrace both sides. And then you've got creative makeup transformations that involve the use of face and body paints. This is my personal favorite. She's a Korean artist named Dane, and she uses a lot of optical illusion styles in her makeup. And the third one is my personal favorite. It's mimics makeup, which is basically trying to transform your face, your existing face, into looking like someone completely different. So that's me on the right, and you might be wondering how I managed to achieve the hairline and, the bald head, which I will show you in the next video. that's ideally how I transform myself. Thank you. It's very interesting because I look like a different person every day. When my family comes back home, they don't see Alicia, they see someone completely different. So I think the power of makeup is that it has the ability for a person to express themselves just the way they are or who they would like to be seen as. And I think when you are an artist, why would you limit yourself to 8 basic colors or inexpensive tools to get the job done? I think it goes beyond that because it's art, and the stereotype or the notion that makeup is about making someone look pretty or someone look beautiful needs to change, because I in fact believe that it's purely an art form, and there's a lot of science that goes behind understanding makeup and how it works. So this led me to actually researching a lot about just faces really all around the world. I was very interested to understand how is it that we live in a world where there are 7 billion people, but we all have different faces from one another. So I think that made me research a little more. And obviously I discovered through, the evolution of humans that our faces tend to change much more than other body traits. So for example, someone who's got long limbs will probably have long arms, but someone who's got a close set of eyes will probably have a small or a wide nose. Faces are a bit unpredictable that way. Now, I was interested to further research, and this is an example from my personal life, because my mother is one among twins, identical twins. So growing up, I had a lot of friends who said, oh, that's so interesting, that's so cool. Can you tell the difference? Can you tell apart between your mom and your aunt? And I would always say, yeah, of course I can. I mean, they look really different. But to my friends or to someone else, to strangers, they would always get confused, and they always said, they look exactly the same. So I'm going to show you in the next slide a picture of exactly what they look like, and we'll just go over differences that a makeup artist would see versus what the normal eye would see. That's a picture of my mother. She's in the green dress, and her twin sister. That's them when they were younger. Now, if you ask me, they look a lot alike when they were younger compared to now. Do you agree? So I think the reason is that nature and nurture both play a very important role. The thing with identical twins is they are born and they carry the same DNA, the exact same DNA. The only difference is that as you grow up, you have a lot of physical changes in the environment that change how you look. So that could be sleep patterns, what you eat, sicknesses, how you react to things. So I think if you look closely, you can see that they've got completely different smiles. My mom's smile is very, very long, whereas my aunt's smile is very wide. They've got different noses, they've got a different hairline, they've got different foreheads, they've got different hair completely, which is funny because when you think of how they looked when they were younger, it was so similar. So I think as a makeup artist, you have a lot of research and a lot of study that goes into how faces look when they are younger versus when they are older, how they look under sunlight or how they look under shadow. And I think the best part about being a makeup artist is envisioning what your look is going to look like and actually seeing what the outcome is. So I think I would like to leave you guys with a few questions. If you had the power or the ability to transform yourself into anyone, almost anyone, who would that be and why? Because I truly believe makeup is art, and art speaks where words fail to explain. As an artist, I feel like you can bend things that most people see as a straight line. So I am an artist, moreover a makeup artist, and this is my world. Thank you.